Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is attach tenant attach is to Intune, attaching out ECCM tenant to Intune. Today's topic is it's a feature where it just uploads the devices to over the Intune, where we can get some extra feature to view the devices, sync the policy, refresh the policy, view the device explorer. Um, if if I come here, where it gives some features for the tenant attach or view client details, perform client actions, view event timelines, view resource data, explore data, run sim pivot queries, deploy applications, run script, deploy endpoint protection policies. The tenant attach, it doesn't mean that it's you're moving your workload from ECCM to Intune. It's just uploading the you're attaching your NCCM devices, uploading your recent devices over the Intune, where you can get some more information about your devices, and in case if you want to do some other actions. But it doesn't mean that you're switching workload. So that's where the co-management comes. We're not enabling that one. We're just tenant attach. So here's documentation where you can go deploy, enable tenant attach. And here's some prerequisites. The prerequisites are the user which I'm using doing this configuration. Make sure it has the global administrator. It's listed in here in the documentation. So I'm good. And also my this user also have a E5 license. And if I come to the Microsoft Admin Center, the user make sure you need to have these users has a E5 license. You can also assign license from here or over from the Intune. The other part is make sure you need to come to your domain controller and run the AD sync. Make sure you upload your devices over the Intune sync hybrid to the Azure. That's one part. The other part is if you want to create a application. This is manual step. It's not needed, but however, we can create application from the ECCM2. The other most important part is we need to enable the MDM auto enrollment. So if you come to the, let me go back to the Azure AD and click on Mobility MDM. Click on Microsoft Intune. Here I'm going to select all, but for in production you need to probably start with the pilot. So you need to click some and select the group. But here for me it's in Slab. I'm selecting all. Do not change any of these criteria. For MAM, I'm not selecting is for the mobile application management. We're not doing this one now, but I'm just more focusing on the mobile devices. I'm going to click Save. Okay, so now we are good to go. We made the prerequisites. We can start configuring our cloud tenant attach over ECCM. If I go back to my ECCM console and over the administration, cloud services, click cloud, cloud attach, configure cloud attach. For here, we need to sign in. So I already signed in. I'm selecting my user. Here we need to check mark this one, enable Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, where it will upload our devices over the Intune. And here the second option is optionally if you have, as I mentioned, if you created a Azure AD application with the secret ID, you need to manually import it. So you need to check mark and click import and provide those information. For me, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna let the CCM create itself. This one I'm not enabling because it will enable co-management. Today's topic is not co-management, it's just thin and attach. We will cover this in a second session. Here it'll ask this action will register an application in Azure AD tenant to authorize its encryption of data to Intune. Do you want to continue? Yes. Here, if you, I'm going with all device, I'm uploading all my devices, but in production, you might select your pilot collection. And here, Endpoint Analytic is another feature over the Intune where it gives you some inside overview of your devices. For example, if you want to upgrade to Windows 11, it'll gives you some insight how many devices are ready to be upgraded to Windows 11 in terms of hardware, OS, any other factors that needs to be made before upgrade. I'm going to enable this one. We'll see how it looks. I'm going to click next, next. Okay, it's completed. So for this, I will wait. I think it takes a couple hours, I guess, for this to complete it. I'll let this complete, then you'll come back. Then you'll see what changes it made. Before I proceed to wait a couple hours, but I wanna just wanna show you it created this one. If I come to the um, Azure services, you see it created cloud attached services, and if I come to Azure Active Directory, you see it's created another Azure Active Directory, and it created this service. I already had two tenants. This is the old tenant I was using. So I don't need this one. I'll clean up, but this is my new one, which it created this application, and this is my tenant ID and secret expiration. If I go back to the uh, Azure AD, you see it created this application for me. And this will, if you compare to this one, it will match the name. Um, as I mentioned, you can create your Azure AD application before and provide those information while to import those in while using the cloud attach. If I go back to cloud attach, they have different, if I click on properties, you'll see what it has. Here we attach our tenant to, and here it will be uploaded all our give a consent to upload to Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, and we selected all collections, and here also enabled Endpoint Analytics. Here, this is to enable co-management. We didn't enable co-management, and this is its workload, and here we would select the which collection you want for each piece. One important thing is if you want to see what is running in the background, it uses this XML file where you can get more details what it does. You see it's accepting all these kind of Windows 10 and Windows 11 here, which version with OS, and this is what it's using. You can get more details from this XML file. So let me check one, see if it shows up. I don't think so, but let's try it. No. So I'll give it a couple hours, then I'll be back. Let's see. I'll see you guys. Okay, here we're back. I thought it will take 1 hour. Actually, it took 15 to 20 minutes. I just want to show you one log. It's called CMG Gateway Sync Upload Worker.log. If you can see, it's the uploading the data, and you can see here CMG's devices are uploaded by generic upload worker, and this is my tenant, and uploading. If you see any error, then you need to troubleshoot why that error is causing the issue. And so let's go and check on the portal. Let me go here. Okay, so this is the Intune. Now, before going to that, I want to check the tenant administration. If we come to the connectors and tokens and Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, and you see this is the connectors connected to my CCM, and this is my site name, and the site code, and showing is LT. Last successful sync was like a 5:54, like now, almost 20 minutes ago. Uh, and this is showing it's green, healthy, and we don't have any issue. Now, if I go back to device and click on Windows devices, and you see here's my devices. And these are my devices. These are, if you check the managed by, you see, as I mentioned, we're not enabling code management. So these are all managed by ECCM and says corporate because all my VM and my lab. For compliance, it says C configuration manager. Obviously, it's in our CCM and it's all OS version. Now, if I go to before going to the each, okay, let me go on here. Devices. This is my Windows 20 H2 VM1. And you can see here we have a sync machine policy, sync user policy, and app evaluation. This is the same policy where you open the ACCM agent on device and you run the machine policy or application policies. And these are the, if I go and look, give you all details about the hardware. And this is for BitLocker recovery key. I don't have it yet. And the Source Explorer, this is another thing we have on, if you go to ECCM, right click and we'll click on the Source Explorer, it will gives you details about that device. See? So it is running real time. It is running real time. What's real time on that machine? If I client details, so these are all the preview. These are the features in preview right now. It should be come up to general availability. We have to check back with the Microsoft vendor making the move. This is the timeline. I need to check what exactly it does, but we will see when the time pass. And this is the collection. Oh, see, it gives me this device is part of all these collections. Wow, this is super good. And this is gives, let's check the application. Only two applications. Wow, we have seen pivot. Seen pivot. Okay, let me check computer system, run it. Okay, since it's real time, it uh, takes like a little longer to grab the information back from the device. 21 seconds. Okay. So yeah, it will take time. It'll gives us back the result. It goes to machine and brings back. Okay, here you go. All the details. Nice. And the script. So we need to run some script and get data back. One important thing I forgot to mention that right now you see I have access to retrieve all these data for each devices. Make sure right now I signed in with my user one account. Make sure this user is part of, if you got the ACCM administrative users, make sure you need to add the user one as a administrator. Let me bring the, uh, where was it? Um, wait, here. Let me go back here. So the user accounts triggering device action have the following prerequisites. The user account needs to be synced user object in Azure AD. And so that's the requirement is make sure you need to add that users and also have a Active Directory should be has a access permission to um, retrieve this activity discovery and also the permission to remote task in Endpoint Admin Center. And also they it needs to have a full permission on all collections where it needs to retrieve the data. So go through this requirement and make sure you need to give it. But yeah, this is the make sure you add the user. I gave it full administrator. You can drill down to the smaller security role permission and see if that works for you. But I give it full administrator here. Because the account I used to attach my tenant attached with from ECCM, that was the my account was created from the when I signed up to Azure, and I had the license E5 and also give it the global administrator because that was required to create application. But for this one, you need to have a user from your AD, your local AD, and add it here. So that this account also needs to be you need to wait till that sync back to Azure AD. So that's what I did. Make sure if that didn't work, make sure you also check your license if the license have issue. So these are the features. Now we can see all my devices uploaded here. Now we can take some actions and utilize these features. And if I run the configuration manager, will request the client to download computer policy. Okay, so now it's running the policy. You can. This is great too. We're not using Intune right now. We're not separating the workload. We just, this is the tenant attach, uploading devices to over Intune. And this is the features that provides another capability to use it same time from the cloud over from Endpoint Manager Admin Center. Basically, old name is Intune. Yeah, so I think that's all for this today's video and this topic we covered. But I'll be working on the co-management next time, and once it's completed, I'll upload it back. But comment out below and let me know if you have any question. I'll I'll try to help on based on my knowledge and experience. Again, thank you guys.